Kate Nichols, and this is the Dirty Jersey 30. Kate Nichols. I'm a comedian. This is the Cedar Ridge Cafe where I host my open mic on Thursday nights called the Good Vibes Open Mic. Well, I started doing stand-up in 2016 and I've been at it ever since. Well, I'm from New York originally, moved here with my family when I was a kid. And yeah, I like Maplewood a lot. I think it's a cool town. I think people in comedy who I always look up to are people who do a lot of different things, like the writer, performer, stand-up, sketch, improv, you know, people who do all this different kind of stuff. Like I think of people like Amy Poehler, you know, she writes, she performs, she produces, she creates all these things. I'm definitely attracted to comedians who've got that kind of like, they can go dark, but also make you feel better about it, you know? Like Maria Bamford or Chris Gethard, people who are out there doing really different kind of stuff. I mean, Maria Bamford, it feels like you're in a fever dream with her, and she talks about these really difficult things, but she makes them funny. She reminds you like, yeah, the world is full of this bad stuff, things get really rough, but we're still okay. So that's what I like about her, and she's just bizarre, she's so different, you know? There's one Maria Bamford, and when I say somebody like Chris Gethard, I love that storytelling style of comedy, people just telling real stories about real things in a very funny way. And storytelling is, you know, as old as humanity itself. People tell stories to each other, it's how people relate to each other, and I think that's a really awesome thing. But then I like people like Zach Galifianakis, like his old stand-up, he's just a weirdo. He's such a weirdo, and I love it because the world is this place that there's so many rules and everything's supposed to be a certain way, and it's so fun when somebody just throws that all up against the wall and they're like, I'm just gonna do some weird, silly shit. Come on, let's all remember, nothing really matters. We're all gonna die anyway. Let's just have some fun. So I really like stuff like that too. I think as a comedian who is a woman, it's important to not be afraid to make mistakes. I think a lot of times we find ourselves being the only lady comedian in the room, and I don't know if this goes to anybody else's head, I could be a little anxious. I get this feeling like I have to be really good, I have to be perfect, I have to impress people, or I will reinforce the assholes who say women aren't funny. So I feel like I have to be perfect every time, which is not helpful when you're trying to get better at comedy, because you have to make mistakes to learn. So if I guess what you're asking is, what do I try to like model for other female comedians who are women?
Yep.
Yeah, is that just like, don't be afraid to be weird, don't be afraid to make a mistake, don't be afraid to try different stuff, don't be afraid to be honest. I feel like sometimes as a woman in comedy, there's this pressure to appeal to a male audience. And you don't necessarily have to always do that. You know, I think it's good to appeal to the room, but also you don't have to make every single room laugh. Not every room is for you. It's great to be adaptable, it's great to be flexible. But like, I don't know that Maria Bamford would kill at the Comedy Cove, you know? But I wouldn't want her to change just to make a different crowd laugh. I don't know, I guess, yeah, that's what I'm just trying to get at, is not being afraid to be who you are and to make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. You don't have to be perfect all the time. I did the Edinburgh Fringe Festival in Scotland last year and produced a show with some other comics, and we did the show every night, and we were doing other people's shows, and you know, we'd be out all night, and we were running on such little steam. And but having a lot of fun. And it was like somewhere towards the middle end of the run, and I had this day where I was just so tired and like deliriously so, and I also like really wasn't feeling good. And the other comics we did the show with, we had another comic who was a woman with us, but she left in the first week, so it was just me and the guys. And I missed my girlfriends a lot, and I was in a very like, fuck it kind of mood, and did the show, and I brought that energy to the stage, and it was like a smaller crowd. It was like a Monday or Tuesday night, and I had so much fun. Like, I was just delirious, and it was in that moment though that I realized that I had been putting so much pressure on myself. I was like, I'm at the Fringe Festival, I'm doing this, and I'm in front of all these people, and I had put so much pressure on myself to be perfect every single night. And I had this one night where I was like, I do this because I love it, I do this because I have fun. Yes, I do still want the audience to have a good time, but I've gotta let loose a little bit. And it was so much fun. And I didn't necessarily kill, there were like 10 people in the room, but it was very, very fun, and I remembered it because it was such an example of that. It was a real learning moment for me that I realized you don't have to put all of that pressure on yourself to be so perfect every night. You can go out there and have fun and take risks and, be yourself. So I definitely am like a blend. I try to be a disciplined writer, and I think that if you create a habit where you just sit down and write, something will come out, even if you're not struck with inspiration. But I also, anytime I have the littlest idea, I write it down immediately. I don't think, oh, I'll remember it later, because I know that I won't. I write it down immediately, and then I'll tend to it later, or I'll take it to a mic and try to explore it on stage. And I'll work on a joke for a long time, I know it sucks hearing yourself saying the same stuff over and over again, but I also have jokes that I've been telling since I started that I've seen grow so much just from doing it in so many different places, trying it in different ways, returning to it, tweaking it, adding things to it. So yeah, I'll tend to a joke like a little seedling to a tree. You gotta let that baby grow. If somebody said, hey, I want to be a comedian, I don't think I'd be like, that's cool. I wouldn't have much to say unless they asked, I think, because I don't know how many people this happens to. I've talked to other women in comedy who this happens to a lot. We get a lot of unsolicited advice. There's just the assumption that we, want or need direction. So yeah, if somebody asks, right? So give me an example of a question somebody might be like,
let me think. Oh, okay. So I want to have a career in comedy.
Yeah.
What is the best avenue to do so?
Yeah. Like I want to be a comedian. How do I get started?
Yeah, how do I get started?
Yeah.
What do I have to? So what do I have to do to get to the point of doing this all the time?
Yeah.
In your opinion, I guess that would be. Yeah, that would be a new comedian's way of saying, like, how do I get to the point of having my own mic or having my own show? What do I have to do that?
My advice is you have to do it as much as you can. You have to write as much as you can. You have to go to as many open mics as you can. You gotta talk to other people, try to get booked on shows. In the beginning especially, I would say unless you have a real reservation about it, don't turn down a show. Every show is a learning experience, even if you're like, nobody's gonna be there. You don't know that, people could be there, and even if nobody's there, you're gonna learn something from it. Even if you just learn how to hold the mic a little bit better, you just have to get out and do it as much as possible. There's no shortcut for that.
Awesome.
Well, for here, the Good Vibes open mic, what I am usually thinking with going through my head is I hope that people show up and have a good time. I started this open mic because I felt like there was a space for a different kind of open mic in the New Jersey scene. Somewhere, there's certainly mics like that where you feel like you just have fun and you feel comfortable and laid back. But particularly as a woman doing comedy, you go to a lot of mics and there's a lot of dudes around, and they're very comfortable with each other. But sometimes, like as a gal, lady, you can't always say the kind of stuff that you want to say and feel comfortable. Like you feel like you're on the outside a little bit. And I've been to a lot of mics that are very negative. People are complaining a lot, and sure, there's comedy in that. That's very funny too. But it feels like, are you familiar with the concept of punching up? It's like you make fun of the people who are above you. You don't punch down. You don't beat up the little guy.
Yeah.
And that's a philosophy that I believe in. And I see that happening sometimes, making fun of people who can't help themselves and stuff like that. Anyway, so I want people to have a good time. I love comedy because I think it's about learning how to laugh amongst all of the bullshit, with all of the bad stuff that's going on, making humor out of it, making fun, because it's a way to survive, having fun, laughing. So yeah, I guess some people see it as like a discharge for negative energy, and that's fine. And there's a place for that kind of comedy as well, and it can come here and be here, but yeah, I guess that's what goes through my mind when it comes to this open mic. And I run it by myself. I do a lot by myself. So yeah, I just try to keep it positive and fun. I mean, we curse and we get vulgar and stuff like that, but overall, with an idea of like, hey, we're all just trying to get good at this. We all just want to have good times. Life is full of enough organic problems. I feel like we don't need to create anymore. Let's just try to have fun when we can. So, April 21st, we've got the Blue Plate Special Comedy Show, hosted and produced by yours truly at the Elks Lodge in South Orange. That's 220 Prospect Avenue or Street? Avenue, yes, Avenue. We have confirmation it is Avenue. In South Orange, New Jersey, doors open at 7:30, show starts at 8, tickets are $5 cash, 21 and over. We have a dope lineup, the show is a lot of fun, we keep the vibes positive, we play games, but this show is going to be special because it's a New Jersey showdown. This show is going to feature comedians from the 3 different regions of New Jersey, north, south, and the other one, and they're all going to compete against each other for comedy supremacy in the Great Garden State. So come on out and see who comes out on top. It's gonna be North Jersey.
So start making some noise right now, please. All right. I'm going to bring up your first comic. She's performed all over the world. Recently, she was in Scotland for the Fringe Festival. Keep it going for Kate Nichols, everybody. Kate Nichols.
Hey, guys. What's up? Give it up for Tim, right? The guy we're all here to see? Yes. Hi. Hi. So my name's Kate. And I have a very important question that I would like to get your feedback on. Is that okay? Thanks. I like to ask for consent continuously, so thank you for agreeing. So what do you think about this idea that girls tend to wind up with a guy like their dad? You think it's true? No? No? Okay, good. 'Cause my dad's gay, so if that was true, it would leave me in a really weird spot, right? Like, I don't know, if that was true, I might have wasted a lot of time at Broadway shows on what I thought were dates, My dad's great, he's gay, he's super gay, I love my gay dad. He tried really hard to be straight. He came from a very Christian, conservative background. It's hilarious, right, trying to be straight. He tried to be straight, he was successful for at least 3 minutes, because I have 2 brothers. And it just, it didn't stick. He's great. I love having a gay dad. He's pretty wonderful. I don't know if I'm attracted to guys like my dad, but I do know that guys like my dad. That's for sure. That's for sure. And, I mean, that's definitely a part of my DNA, right? So what does that mean? Does that mean that I'm more likely to be a lesbian, to be bisexual, or does it just, double down on my love for the dick altogether? How does that math work out? I don't know. I'm going to have to find out, I guess. Oh, I love my dad. He's really great. Give it up for my gay dad. Thanks, guys. Thanks. He'll love that. He loves attention. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. You know, having a gay dad is great. He loves himself now. He's out. He's proud. And he's living his best life. And I think that's the key to happiness. You got to love who you are, right? Give it up for self-love. You got to love who you are. You got to love yourself. Whatever you got going on, you got to make the best out of it. Like, my body isn't perfect, all right? I have small breasts, okay? Don't tell anyone, it's a secret. But they're small, but they're enthusiastic, okay? I call them my 32 yays. There are perks, if you will. I can wear any bathing suit top that I want. Triangle bikini, one piece, two piece, bandeau, halter top. I don't have to worry about anybody popping out. These puppies don't move, okay? But there is a drawback. When you wear lots of different bathing suits, what happens? You get weird tan lines, right? So right now, I take my bra off. It looks like I got 2 fried eggs on my chest with pink yolks. It's weird. I tell those jokes a lot, and every now and then, a very drunk man will yell out, "Show us." And I find it a little jarring and upsetting, but then it doesn't happen, and I'm like, hey, why not? Like, being a woman is hard, is what I'm trying to say. Oh. I'll try to lighten the mood a little bit. Being a woman is tough, but 3 years ago, my mom died. Oh, I'm sorry to bring down the energy in the room. I'm really sorry if it's too soon for you, since my mom died. But, like, she's still with you. It gets better. Blah, blah, blah. No, it's okay. I try to use what happened to motivate me to live my best life. I do, to honor her memory. But she passed away in this very unexpected way. She fell out of a chair, she hit her head, and that was it. And because of the way she died, I've got this anger, and I don't know how to channel it. Like, I feel like if you lose a loved one to cancer, you channel that pain, that anger, into raising money for a cure for cancer. And you go on a 5K run, and you wear a cool bracelet that says, "Fuck cancer." But I'm just out here by myself like, "Fuck chairs." Terrible. Lonely. Lonely. No, but it's okay. I do. I try to stay positive. I try to live my best life. I try to focus on the good things, you know. As a woman, like, I love being a lady, but there are drawbacks. Like, I don't like catcalling. I don't like being catcalled. I don't mind being complimented. But sometimes it crosses a line into this territory that's, like, creepy and aggressive. I'll give you an example. One time I'm sitting in my car in a parking lot. I'm just on my phone killing time. And this car pulls up next to me. And the gentleman sitting in the passenger seat of that car, he rolls down his window and says to me, "So, you want to take me home? Make sweet love all night long?" And I said, "No, I don't think so. Don't get me wrong. You could be a very nice guy. I don't know you. Maybe you've got a great relationship with your mother and you volunteer with foster youth on the weekend, but sir, I know there's no future for you and me, for already you've broken the cardinal rule laid forth by the ladies of TLC in the song No Scrubs. You are literally hanging out the passenger side of your best friend's ride, trying to holler at me, and I don't want no scrub. No. Scrub. No, no." To which he replied, "Bitch, suck my dick." And I didn't, but it got me to thinking, like when do we start using that phrase, "suck my dick," like as an insult, right? Because from my perspective, it's a very nice thing you do for somebody, you know? That's like insulting someone by being like, "Bake me a delicious homemade cake on a day when it's not my birthday, motherfucker." I don't get it. But I had internalized that message as a young woman, "suck my dick." Like, it was this bad thing. So I was like, well, I'm not going to do that. Which is unfortunate because, as I said, my father is gay and my mother is straight. So I inherited those skills from both of my parents. How you guys feel about Donald Trump? He's okay? All right, I don't want to divide the room. I don't mean to make everybody uncomfortable. It was just a question that was going to help me determine if I was going to tell a certain joke or not. Based on that tepid response and the fear in your eyes, I'll avoid it, right? We don't need to make ourselves uncomfortable. That's fine. It's good. I will tell you guys something about me. I am looking for a new job because I really need health insurance right now. I actually have this medical condition that I have to take medication for every single day. I have this condition where if I have sex, I can become pregnant. So I need birth control pills. Thank you. My brother just got his first job. My brother is teaching 3rd grade. Yeah, I'm so proud of him. And he's really, really good with kids. Like, he gets down on their level. And his last name is the same as mine. It's Nichols. So he says, hey, kids, if you guys are bad, you got to call me Mr. Nichols. But if you're good, we can have some fun. You can call me Mr. Pickles. Don't you want Mr. Pickles to come out? And I was like, oh, brother, I don't think you should be saying that to small children. Yeah. Just the word pickles is funny, isn't it? Then as a euphemism, it's hilarious. Pickles. You guys are really great. This is a lot of fun. This is going to be a really great show. Give it up for yourselves for being here, for all your friends. Yes. Good stuff. All right, so I'll tell you one more joke, and then we'll move it along, get closer to Tim. But I do try really hard to stay positive and to think of little ways to brighten every single day. You know, we're up against a lot, right? We all have challenges. We all have struggles. So I'm just trying to think of any little things we can do to make things better. And I was thinking about this the other day. I was actually shopping, and I was using a self-checkout machine. And it occurred to me, I was like, wait, what if we could reprogram these self-checkout machines? We could reprogram them to give you words of encouragement and advice based on the purchases you're making, like you find in a self-help book. We call it the self-help checkout machine, right? So it's like you're shopping. Durex, condoms, $9.99. Safe sex is great sex. Revlon, lip gloss, $4.99. Girl, you don't need that. You're beautiful the way you are. Magnum, condoms, $11.99. You go, bro. Have you met Kate Nichols? Her phone number is 973. Thanks, guys. I'm Kate. Have a great night. Enjoy the show.